Well, students, we're going to keep working on your clay fish today. The first thing I'd like you to do is just take a look at it, make sure that it's smooth. You can take your finger and smooth out anything that needs to be smooth. Once you have checked to make sure everything looks good, that it is smooth, just use 1 drop of water at a time. You don't want it to get too wet. Then I'm going to take it and I'm just going to set it aside. I'm going to move these tools a minute because we'll use those in a minute. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to make eyes and a mouth. Before I put them on, I'm going to make them. So if I take a little piece of clay like this, I roll up a little ball of clay. That's going to be one eye. I'm just smoothing it a little bit. They don't have to be exactly the same size. I'm going to roll that up. Once I roll up those two, I'm going to make some smaller pieces for the inside of the eye too. I'm going to roll up a little piece for the middle of the eye and another little piece for the other eye. Once I have those pieces, I'm going to take these and we'll just set these up here just for a second. So just roll those up. Now I'm going to make a little line for the mouth. So here, sometimes it's good to take a little extra because you can always make the line smaller. Put a little water on it, roll it up. And once I roll it up, if I roll it in my hand like this, so I'm just rolling it up and down in my hand, then I can take it and I can roll it out on the table. It's usually easiest if I'm using most of my hand. So here, I want to move this over so I can use enough of my hand to roll the whole thing. So I'm rolling all the way from my fingertips all the way to the bottom of my hand. So the whole hand is rolling it. If it's long enough, you can roll 2 hands. Now, sometimes kids make this too skinny. You want to make sure that it's thicker than this stick. Okay? Once I make this, I'm going to turn it into kind of a circle shape. So I'm going to put a little bit of water on it to get it to stick together. And then any of this extra, there's a popsicle stick. This, you can just take the rubber band off and set the rubber band aside. This tool here, I can take it and cut this, take that extra off. Then I've got this and I can smooth that together. Now that just makes a circle. It's like a little loop. I'm going to take all these pieces now and I'm going to put them on my fish. So we know that in order to get pieces to stick to the clay, I need to put water on it. I'm going to start with the mouth so I don't run out of space for it. So I'm going to put a little bit of water on here. I could have it be a big round mouth like this. I could make it more of an oval shaped mouth. You can decide. But the water is going to stick it on there. So that's why I wanted to make sure to put water under it. And at the very bottom, if you do want to flip it over and just kind of like we did last time, just roll this a little bit together on the bottom, you can. And then that will definitely stick that together. But I don't need to really do that anywhere else. So just press that on with your finger. Now I've got to stick the eyes on. I think these work pretty good if I just flatten them just a little bit into circles, like that. Then when I stick it on with water, just put a little bit of water here and stick it on. Then take my other eye, put a little bit of water right there, and then stick that one on. Press them down good. Now that I press that down with my thumb, I'm going to put some water here, and then we'll stick these in the middle. Now that I have those done, I get to do my favorite part. I love using these tools. So I'm going to try to make both sides the same. So here, when I'm doing this first part, I'm going to stamp on some gills. So this is a round line. If I take it and I just put my finger on the end, it makes a curved line. That can make some cool gills so it can breathe underwater. And then I'm going to do that on this side too. So if I did 2 on that side, I'm going to do 2 on this side. Then I'm going to work on my top fin. Sometimes I like to take this and just press this in. It does some cool scaly textures up top. And then I think I'm going to try another tool. Let's try this one. If I use this line, this side it uses bumpy line, this side uses smooth line. So I'm gonna do bumpy line on this one. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many do you think I'm gonna do on this side? You're right, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now, let's try the other side. Let's try some straight line. So here, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. Then I'm gonna do that on this side. Let's smooth that first. Then I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. Now, let's see, what else could I try? Let's try this tool. This one could be cool. If I use this side, it might make one thing. Let's try this side on this part. So that does 4 cool lines. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try the other side. I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. So let's go over here. 1, 2, 3. And let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just trying to make sure both sides are the same. Do 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. And my fingers are kind of on the inside of my fish. So then it's gonna be easy for me to hold it. So I did 3 on that side. I'm kind of working in 3s. Now that I have that done, let's try something else. I'm gonna do this to make it the same as my top fin. But then I'm gonna do this one. You can see my pinky finger's under here. So then I can do some lines with this straight side, the knife side of my tool. Try to make those look nice. And I did 4, so we'll flip it over and do 1, 2, 3, 4. Last parts that I want to show you. We can do the eye. If I take this, I just put a little dot on the inside of the eye. That could be cool. And then it looks like I bumped the mouth, so I gotta smooth that part out where the mouth is. And then I'll show you 2 kinds of teeth. You could invent your own way too. But I think for my teeth, I'm gonna do straight teeth. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna go with a straight line here. So it makes a straight line. And then I'm gonna do this way for his teeth. Now I have another fish, so I think that looks kind of cool. If you did want to do like a zigzag for teeth, you could just go like this and go. And then those look more like sharp teeth. And that's where we're gonna be today. So we're gonna get to use all those cool tools. You can see this one has a different design. This one I used this to do my scales, and I just did the same on both sides. So there's a lot of different ways that you can make your fish. Sometimes I'll even take it and do like a couple of little cool like details around the eyes too. So he did 3 there. And do 3 here. And then I think my fish is done. So it looks pretty cool. I'm happy with it. And we'll just set it aside with our name tag. And I'll give you any extra directions that you might need during our work time. At the end, we can put our extra clay all back together next to the water cup. And then these tools are you can just put the rubber band around it like that. And then the stick is gonna stay separate. So let's have fun working on these fish.